What's up, and welcome to the Mallard Mischief podcast, brought to you by our fine friends over at the Lost Hat Company. This is episode 2.4, and we are here in the studio. This is Chris. I got my man Ben Moss, and we've got two guests.
We do. We got a return guest here. Our old buddy Owen decided he was going to make another appearance.
He's almost
here.
like a guest co-host tonight.
Well, he came back. He didn't know we were recording tonight, and he showed up to tell us about those poop coffee beans again. And we said, throw on a headset and come talk about it when we're live.
I mean, that's got to be a show sipper next couple episodes.
I don't think so, man.
I don't know. I've never tried it
this season.
I've never tried it, but it's supposedly good according to Pawn Stars.
If you
History
buy
Channel.
them and bring them on, we will have them as the show sipper.
I'm not drinking poop.
But we've also got a real live guest also.
We do. We do have a new guest. And so before we get into our actual show sipper, why don't you introduce our buddy Jacob here?
So our buddy Jacob Caldwell is joining us live via FaceTime right now, all the way from the fine place of Oklahoma. What's up, buddy?
Oh, yeah. What's going on, boys?
Happy to be here.
Dude.
Hey, man. Good time to be alive.
Yeah, man. Look, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was like short notice and hollered at you and you were free. So we're going to get into some stories and land management type stuff and guide life and all the Jacob Caldwell life history.
Right.
I'm
excited to hear
if the
about
podcast world can handle it.
I say it should be interesting.
It's
We're going to
gonna
have
be-
to tone her down a bit, but we can get through her.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a party.
Yeah, Chris can edit out a lot, so
I don't
let it
edit.
rip.
Hey, it's raw. I stopped editing last year. It was taking me. Imagine this: if you recorded a 2-hour podcast, it took me twice as long to edit. So,
Oh, dude, I've never seen or understood editing until I started hanging out with Owen and Ed and them.
Oh, dude.
no, this is just live. It is what it is. It's raw.
Right.
You're getting all of us and all the action. But before we
Yeah.
get into it, we do have a show sipper.
Yeah, Jacob picked
That
our
we
show
do.
sipper today. Jacob, why don't you tell us a little bit about this? This may be one that most folks haven't heard of before, not necessarily a household name. So why don't you give us a little intro to what we're going to be sipping on this evening?
From the fine mountains of melted wax, I bring you the $39.99 bottle of Maker's Mark, the poor man's nice bottle of whiskey.
I like it.
And let me tell you, she sits just fine.
Well, we will find out.
She does sit just fine. I happen to know from experience.
We've got a brand new
We have met.
miniature bottle of Maker's Mark
Perfect for
here
the
in the
occasion.
studio. Yeah. Would you
Can I
pour
get
me
you a
one?
glass of water?
Here we
Did I say
go.
Owen?
Man, that dude took a cheap shot right off the bat.
I was waiting on it. I was going to toss one if he didn't.
Well, you know what? Before this season's over, Owen will come on the show, and he will have the show, and he will
Yeah.
have a show sipper with us. When's your
Poop, coffee,
birthday?
and Bailey.
January 21st.
January 21st.
Yes, sir.
He's been almost 21 for like 7 years, I think.
Yeah, that's about right. You ask our old buddy Ed. I've been 19 for 5 years, which I'm not.
No,
I'm there. I'm there.
Not anymore. But you've also been working for Ed since you were like 14.
It feels like it. It feels
so,
like.
So I could see where
Yeah.
that could come into play.
Well, as we sip on this, Jacob, I'm going to give you the floor for a minute. Oh, we lost him. Well,
Part of 2025, we can fly to the moon, but don't have service.
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to stop you right there because we have never been to the moon.
Who? Us?
Yeah.
Personally?
No, humans.
Have never been to the moon?
No shot.
How can you say that?
All right, that's part of the conspiracy theories.
What's up?
Oh, look who it is.
Have we been to the moon?
Are you?
No.
All right.
Hang on,
Are you back?
Jacob?
We're gonna get him a portable Wi-Fi for Christmas.
This ain't gonna work.
Well, while we wait, have him call your cell phone. We'll ditch his video. We'll go straight audio for him. In the meantime, I want to hear about what Owen's got on the horizon. He's got a couple trips coming up that I've been meaning to ask him about anyway.
Hey, dude, you there?
I hope so.
All right, we'll
We'll come back to your trips.
We're just gonna go straight audio and dive into the show, and I'll just put a picture of you up on.
Put a picture of him right here on the window behind us.
Yeah, just send us your best modeling headshot, and we'll throw that up on the YouTube for our fine fans to see.
Dude, I'm gonna get a full perm and blowout
Let's
right before I
go.
get this photo taken.
Please do it.
But
Sleep with
anyways,
your curlers in.
Let's jump into the show. Hey, buddy, why don't you give us a little rundown, like the autobiography of Jacob, and you know, a little bit about you.
Yeah, personally and professionally.
Yeah, how you've gotten to where you are today, and then we'll dive
and
into
what it is that you do. I want go ahead and let everybody know who are we talking to today.
Fair enough. Well, I'm Jake. I am been a guide at Crash for 4 years now. Been guiding for 6 years, as well as I run Archie Bradley's ranch, manage all of his deer properties, as well as managing his wetlands and his duck property out there. And man, I got into this game when I was about 20. Got done. I played college football out in Montana for a little bit, then headed to the oil rigs for a while, and just kind of got tired of not doing what I wanted to do, and kind of told myself I was going to find a way to chase the dream I'd always had, which is find a way to make a living in the outdoors, doing what I love to do, hunting and fishing, and getting to share experiences and memories with other people, you know, coming out to hunt with us, where, you know, you're getting to be a part of that father-son's hunt they've been saving for years and everything else. And so I started chasing that dream when I was about 20, and it ended me up here.
That's awesome, dude.
Now, where are you from?
So grew up mostly in Georgia. I've lived everywhere. I've lived in 11 or 12 different states now. It's kind of it's a running joke at Crash when anyone asks me where I'm from.
We've got 50 of those, by the way.
Oh, man. But mostly grew up in Woodstock, Georgia, and then moved out to Montana my sophomore year of high school, played ball and college ball out there, and then kind of just started running around chasing money and realized you're in your 20s and there's a lot to see and a lot of world to see, so go chase it.
Man, how about that?
So you went into the oil field, and then from there decided that you were gonna. I mean, were you hunting all this time? Like, did you grow up hunting and then decided you wanted to do it for a profession?
100%. So I was, and I'd love to chime my dad in at some point one day, just so you know I'm not full of it. But I was a weird kid in the fact of, you know, all these kids, you know, I want to play in the NFL or I want to do this when I grow up. My dad grew me up on Realtree Monster Bucks, the DVDs and the VHSs, to the old school OG Duck Commander VHS videos.
Which were badass.
I still remember the one where they're hunting in the blind, and I think it's Phil or somebody pulls out the rifle and shoots the deer on the run in the middle of the duck hole. Dude, that's a classic.
Well, you could make a very strong argument that even today, with all the media we have, those were some of the best outdoor TV shows of all time.
That was the beginning
of they set the bar high.
They set the bar high.
They did.
Man, I used to love those.
They literally were rolling around with a 50-pound camera on her shoulder and managed to honestly turn a lot of people to duck hunting and kind of opened a lot of eyes to duck hunting. And honestly, that's what got me hooked. Watching the Duck Commander guys, watching Michael Waddell, Bill Jordan, David Blanton. I mean, the list goes on. And that's what I grew up on. And I knew from a real early age, I was like, I will find a way, one way or another, to do this for a living, because it's all I want to do.
So bridge the gap here. How did you end up getting hooked up with former major league pitcher Archie Bradley and going to run his operation?
So
He was a pitcher, wasn't
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He's a pitcher. And I kind of crazy. I started my guide career out in a little town called Mound City, Missouri when I was 20.
Okay.
Guiding for a small outfit out there. And then I went to Great Bend, Kansas the next year and kind of helped my buddy Jess, who runs an incredible outfit now out in Kansas. Those are some duck killing boys, but I went and helped him just with a couple little things out in Kansas. And then I came back and come out of the oil fields, I decided for some reason I thought I was JB Mooney, and I became a bull rider for about 2.5.
No.
Whoa.
You're a big guy for a bull rider.
Way too big, way too big.
Did you ever
And I
see
was
8
kind of
seconds?
hoping,
The movie?
Lord,
No,
no, I
I mean,
saw
like,
8
did he-
seconds.
Did he ever last 8 seconds?
Are you saying did he ever ride a bull?
I mean, like in a competition setting.
like did he ever score?
I mean, if you
Dude,
piece
he
together
said he
8 of
didn't
my,
do it long.
no, I mean,
All right, we're gonna
What a
stop this
slap in
show.
the face.
We're gonna come back to it.
The
We're gonna go
movie.
put Chris on a bull, and we're gonna see how many seconds he makes
I'm
it.
not a bull rider.
Neither was he when he started.
8 seconds. The
no, if
movie.
you,
Yeah, he said the movie.
I mean, it's a great movie.
I bet it is.
Have
hey,
you
it's a great
never seen
movie.
it?
Yes,
Lane's
I've
woman
seen
was
it. That's
hot.
not
It was
You
all
haven't
great.
seen it,
Yes, I
have you?
have. Yes, I have.
Liar. You haven't seen it.
Who's it? Lane.
No, I
Lane
mean, if
Frost?
you-
Yeah.
If you took 8 clips of 8 bull rides of me, you might make 8 seconds.
See?
It was.
No, I bet you were good.
It wasn't good, but we gave her the old college try, man. I mean, it was.
Hey, that's more than most.
It
can say.
wasn't. It was a fun time in my life. It's something I can say I got to do. I got to sit on a Boomerang, the old PBR bull. I refuse to say I rode Boomerang. I would like to say I sat on Boomerang, because all I know is the gate opened, and before I knew what happened, I lost my helmet, both spurs, and almost knocked myself out. So I won't really call that a ride.
I don't know. Sounds like he took you for a
sort of.
ride.
Dude, I could not
Oh, he did. He did.
imagine sitting on a bull.
It'd be gnarly.
Like, I've rode a mechanical bull, and
Humbling thing, man. I've
look,
done my whole life
You
and
put
always
a
been a
quarter
pretty,
in one
pretty
in the
strong
front
guy
of
on
the
my circle.
supermarket.
dude, you go to look if you go to the Floribama.
Yeah.
And they got a mechanical bull at the Floribama that
Yeah.
will take you for a short
Yeah,
enough
he'll
ride.
cut loose. Jacob, do you
Well,
ever
of
have
course.
any? Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, of course it takes us for a ride. Look, we all know how mechanical bulls work. If you're a hairy dude like you, me, or any of us in this podcast right now, they're going to make a spectacle of trying to kill us. Now, if a good-looking woman decides to sit on that bull, they're going to put on a show.
Oh yeah,
And they're going to
Yeah.
be as gentle as they can.
They're gonna be
yeah.
like a piece of fine china. Did you
Yeah.
ever?
You're-
Did you ever carry home any serious injuries from a bull?
So let's see. I dislocated my hip, dislocated my right knee, broke my right hand about 5 times, and then my kind of final big one. Well, it should have been final because I still rode for a couple, like a season after that, because I was stupid. But I broke my back. I in 3 ribs riding a rank bull in Montana, and that was kind of my you're not real good at this moment.
So how long did this career last?
Oh, I mean, a career is a generous word. It was an endeavor.
Never.
It was an endeavor.
Man, you're nothing if not passionate.
Well, I mean, no, for real though. How long did you ride bulls? Like, how long were you rodeoing? Like, were you?
I rodeoed about 2.5 years.
Wow.
2.5 years.
That's
Traveled
awesome.
around Montana,
awesome.
and into Idaho. And then I was working at I broke my back. I went home to my folks and recovered because I was renting a pull-out couch for $200 a month when this
Not
happened.
conducive
So I
for a
was
broke back.
no, that rail was perfectly placed right in the small of my back, and I was working at like a ranch supply store in Montana, basically a tractor supply.
Mm-hmm.
And where I get tied in with Archie is my cousin at the time, Brian Waite, was actually the head of marketing for Rite shotguns.
Very cool.
And he had seen that I wasn't guiding that year. And I mean, I'm literally, this is October. I'm 2 months removed from a broken back, walking around like a gimp with a cane at 22 years old. It's a great look. Let me tell you, it got the women. Let me tell you.
I guarantee you.
Give him a top hat. He's ready to roll.
Dude, Mr. Peanut coming at him. But he called. He's just like, man, are you guiding this year? I was like, brother, I've sent a couple messages. I was like, I don't really want to go to another little startup. He knew Archie through Retail, and he goes, man, I know Crash is hiring. He goes, throw together a resume, and I'll send it over. So I put together a resume, emailed it over, and then it was actually Mac. I did like 3 phone interviews with Mac. I mean, it was like I was applying to work in the White House.
That's pretty in depth. That's what I was
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like 3 phone interviews. And then for any listener, or I know y'all do, trying to get a hold of Mac Moncton leading up to duck season, it's just one of the more difficult things on this earth. And that dude told me for a week straight, that joker had me sitting on pins and needles. Because he's like, oh, man, I'll call you tomorrow, let you know. I'll call you tomorrow, let you know. And that moved for 7 days till I think I had about 4 stomach ulcers. And finally he called me back, man. And for my first 3 seasons, I was driving from Montana 26 hours. I was driving from Montana and staying at the guide shack and guiding for 3 months and then heading home. And last year, I was actually flying to Nashville, going to visit some family, and just in kind of, a weird way, God works at times. And I had gotten off the plane and was in the car with my dad talking about how I was trying to move to Oklahoma anyway. I wanted to be, more hands-on with Crash. Montana was becoming unaffordable to live in. It was just kind of becoming ridiculous. And my phone literally rang as I was finishing that sentence. It was Mac. And answered the phone call from Mac, and he opened the sentence with, well, you want to move to Oklahoma? And I was like, what? And basically the former ranch hand at that time was departing, and I was blessed enough to kind of be at the top of that list for who they wanted to ask to run it. And I mean, I won't lie, it wasn't a question in my head that I was taking it. Got a hold of Archie, talked to him, talked to Mac. And this was in middle of June, and I was on the ranch by July 6th.
And was that was this year?
Last year. I've been there. It was a year in July I'd been there. So,
okay.
yeah.
So it was quick. When it started, it
life in
happened
my
quick.
pickup truck, left Montana and headed.
Dang.
Man, that's awesome. So your family's still in Montana?
So my family's kind of spread out through Georgia and Texas and Montana right now. We're kind of all over the map.
And
man,
and so you currently live in Oklahoma.
I do. I live out in like Ralston, Oklahoma is where I reside on the ranch at Archie's.
Man, that's awesome. Well, let me ask you this. Like, say, before we get into your job duties and all that kind of stuff, say we got somebody listening that wants to get into the guide business. Like, what's a tip that you would give them for how to get started? Like, if it was just somebody that loves to duck hunt and say, hey, I want to be a guide. Like, what's the easiest way to get in the business?
Talking to people, sending DMs, reaching out, putting yourself out there. But also when you do, and here's the biggest problem that I see with a lot of guys trying to get into guiding, is they expect to step into whatever outfit. The biggest tip I can give to anybody wanting to be a guide is be a great scout. Be somebody that they can count on. I need you to get on the road, and I need you to find me birds. That is how you earn your keep in this industry, is being somebody not only they can depend on, somebody who they can count on when they need it, but someone who they can send out, and you're grinding. You're putting in the hours on the road, the miles on the road, burning the gas, and finding birds. That is honestly your biggest way to get a foot in the door, is be a guy that can put you guys on birds, and then you work up from there, and you'll earn your keep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But got to be willing to be a scout first.
Yeah. So with that being said, well, let's talk about the land management piece first.
Yeah, I was going to say, set the stage for us. Like, duck season just ended, so we're starting into the next year. Give us like the elevator pitch of what you do day in, day out throughout the course of the year in preparation for, y'all. I mean, y'all kind of do it all up there. So in preparation for the dove hunt, deer season, duck season, like what are you doing year round to just kind of keep that place on the up and up?
Man, it's a full-time gig. With the job out there, I will say there is no more unique job than working for Archie Bradley in crash landing. But it's working a balancing act, man. I mean, me and Archie also have an understanding that once duck season really gets rolling, I've got to be over at the guide shack. I have to be over at the lodge running clients, things like that. But building up to duck, building up to deer, Archie is a huge deer hunter. He's a great deer hunter. And so with him, my main job out there, other than just kind of random projects that he might have throughout the year, is managing but like just this week, I put in 10 different food plots, winter mixes, running our cameras, trying to set up things. Because the biggest thing with deer hunting that I think a lot of people mess up on when they get comfortable on their private is not adjusting to the deer. Deer are a wild animal. They adjust. You have to adjust with them. And so a big part of the gig out there is, learning from every year you're out there and learning, all right, well, deer kept slipping us here, or we were seeing more movement here. So every year is kind of a readjustment phase of, all right, well, we're going to move this stand. We're going to move this pin. We're going to put a food plot here. And so, leading up to deer season, my schedule is incredibly, I've been busy I've been working on deer stuff since July. Just getting everything spick and span from, like I said, planting food plots all the way up to making sure camera arms are in the tree how they should. So I got to get in there and click the camera gear in, making sure straps are good on the stands. We're not hopping in and popping, falling out of a tree, because Archie would probably not be the happiest camper with me. We're both big fellas, and that's a long fall. But yeah, so we roll into deer season, then we roll into duck season, and then kind of after duck, you have this little medium period. I call my February my leave me alone month. That is my don't talk to me, don't call me, don't bother me month. And
Reset.
then we honestly roll right into turkey, man. It's we roll straight into turkey and kind of identifying the different groups we have out there. We try to be really good about managing our turkey population in letting birds walk, letting the groups build up, letting the toms build up. And honestly, these last couple of years in Oklahoma have been incredible for the turkey population after they knocked it down to one bird, which I know can be aggravating at times, but the turkey population in Oklahoma has boomed. And so it's really helped our numbers there. So like I said, it kind of just rolls in a domino effect from dove, deer, duck, turkey. It's definitely a full year-round operation.
So I got a couple of questions. One, what time do you get up in the morning on a normal day when you're working the farm?
Man, during these summer months, when it's really cooking out there, I'm trying to, and like I said, but I'm trying to be up by 5 or 6 when it's real hot out, work for the first 4 or 5 hours of the day, really knock out a lot of the big tasks I have, then retreat to the AC and do inside jobs that I can, and then kind of hit it back in the evening. But I'm trying to usually be up between 5 to 7 at the latest during these spring, summer months when it's really cooking out there in Oklahoma.
Yeah, for sure. And then what are you planting for food plots, Ali? What's your go-to?
So early, June time, I'm throwing soybeans in the ground, planting dicamba soybeans in certain plots. We have kind of a big central spot in the property. The ranch itself is about 600 acres. It's not a crazy wide ranch. It's, east and west is not crazy. It's a very long north and south kind of property. And so I try to place my main plot kind of dead center central of the property that allows deer to kind of come from different areas to it. And I plant about 10 acres, 12 acres in soybeans. And then once this, like right now, we're in September, and then I'm laying cover winter plot over top of that, which is a mix of black oats, clover, and some other just smaller deals, radish, things like that, things that can weather colder weather and still come up and survive through it, and gives the deer good nutrition through the colder months to keep them coming around, a consistent food source to kind of hold deer, because the ranch over the years has been much more of a rut corridor, is how I put it. It's never been a place in the history of it that's held a lot of deer. It's a place that once rut kicks, all of a sudden you've got 8 bucks, 9 different bucks on there that you haven't seen, and you've got 2 weeks, 3 weeks to kill them. So we're kind of trying to change the course of what the ranch has been, because they had done soybean plots in the past, but had never really put a lot of time into these winter plots and keeping a consistent food source on the ranch through deer season. So that's kind of the change we've been trying to make this year, is just building something that holds the deer longer.
Give me a quick rundown of the landscape of the ranch. I mean, is it mostly ag? Is there hardwoods? And admittedly, I've never been to Oklahoma, so I have no frame of reference as to just what are we dealing with?
So it's kind of a mix of both, man. It's what I kind of love about the property is it's got so much uniqueness to it. You do have these thicker timber holes with creek bottoms running through them that you can get in these little slips that a lot of these bucks will use during rut when they're not wanting to pop out in the open and they're moving between food plots, between bedding areas. You can catch them. There's also a lot of ag. There's a lot surrounding us, and there's a lot of our sets sit on like field edges, basically. There's a lot of big openings out there. It's a lot of big open landscape with basically thinner runs of trees. It's not like a Georgia, Bama, Tennessee, like I grew up in, y'all grew up in Mississippi, where it's, it's thick hardwoods, and that's what you got to learn to hunt. And honestly, it's been a learning curve for me out here, because that's what I grew up in. I know how to hunt timber. I know how to get in those trees and find deer. And so now I'm kind of trying to bring that, because Archie's always been someone that hunts those big open fields, hunts those tree lines, looking out into the open. And so now we've kind of tried to make an adjustment on the property. There's 4 or 5 different ponds on the property. There's 2 wetlands. There's a timber hole and a front pond. And the deer, so I'm trying to basically shift a lot of these sets deeper into the trees, keep some of our open ones, but kind of trying to have Archie branch more into, hey man, there's a lot of big bucks you aren't seeing that are slipping through this timber. And we stuck a couple cameras back in the trees last year on some game trails that I found after season, which that's another massive tip I could give to anyone managing a deer property. Go walk your property as soon as season's over. Everything's dead. You ain't worrying about bumping deer. Go walk through those thickets and find those little rat trails that you haven't seen them slipping through. And that's what I did as soon as season was over. And we realized we were missing a lot of deer slipping us, 50 yards off these stands we'd never see. So kind of just tried to adjust to the property and kind of change our look a little bit.
So are you guys when you're putting sets up, are you primarily bow hunting or bow and rifle, or what are you guys doing out there?
Primarily bow. Archie is a very big bow hunter. We do have 4 or 5 redneck blinds on the property that are primarily rifle blinds, but Archie uses those a lot more. He'll have his family come out. Usually family comes out around Thanksgiving or Christmas, his dad and a couple folks, and we kind of use those for the family and friends that, aren't real accustomed to sitting 25 feet up a tree and freezing cold.
Yeah.
But every set on the property is a 20-foot Millennium ladder followed by a Millennium lock-on up above it, and that's usually our camera stand. So I'll climb up the ladder and then climb into the lock-on. Archie prefers a ladder, so we do every single set on the property is a double set, and it is ladder with lock-on above.
And that's set up so you can film every hunt.
I've noticed it's too much.
Hey, did you hear my question?
Oh, no, sorry. You cut out real bad.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. I was just saying, so you have the 2 stands set up basically so that you can film every hunt.
Exactly. That's another cool kind of gig of working for Archie. As part of my job is I film him during deer season. So I get to put a lot of stand time in before duck season really gets rolling, and we've gotten to sit in a tree a lot and see a lot of cool things together. And I've kind of gotten to, not to obviously your level or Owen's level, but I've gotten to kind of dabble into the camera work, and it has become something very enjoyable that I have a lot of fun with.
Oh yeah. So when will you guys start deer hunting out there? I mean, it's probably getting pretty close, huh?
Yeah, we open October 1st, and man, honestly, it just depends. I mean, I'll be real. Neither me or Archie are going to go sit in the stand when it's 95 degrees.
Right.
It's not doing it.
I feel you
I'm
there.
just- I mean, ticks look at me like I look at a Golden Corral buffet, and I'm not. I mean, I sit in that stand for 5 minutes. I look like I jumped in a kiddie pool, and
Man, I can relate.
I mean,
to
don't
that.
get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. 180 incher wants to start daylighting and walking in there consistently. I will suffer for the cause.
Hey, you got to get that new non-typical.
Something pretty impressive for me to get in a stand.
You got to get that new Drake non-typical lightweight breathable shirt. That's what you need.
Is that the one with
Man,
the bug proof?
That's the one
stuff?
that you've been
Yeah.
wearing.
Untypical
Yeah,
gear.
SWT.
yeah.
It does
Yeah.
work.
That
It is
SWT
legit.
is
It does
sick.
work.
No, I will say this year was the hottest I've ever hunted. I went and hunted Tennessee Velvet in August. This past August, just last month. And man, that non-typical gear is the only thing that got me through. I'll just be 100% honest. It
It's
is the
good
only
stuff.
thing that got me through that hunt.
Yep.
And that built-in bug repellent. You remember when we went out there and did the photo shoot?
You were getting ate
Dude,
up.
I was getting destroyed
It
by
wouldn't
horse
bother me.
flies.
Yeah.
Literally, they were like I had whelps on my back from the
Yeah,
horse flies.
I'll say last weekend hunting Mississippi Velvet, and I mean, it was them tiger stripe mosquitoes, some big ones, and they were biting me everywhere I didn't have a shirt on.
Yeah,
They're biting me in the neck and the hands. They weren't biting through that
it's
shirt.
amazing.
It is.
Yeah.
It is
And that's the
amazing.
same
No,
with that lightweight turkey gear last year. I don't know. That's
The Old
Spiderweb
Tom, baby?
technology.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
one is that?
Old Tom.
Trying to think.
I
Just
can't
so we
remember.
have with that hooded.
I'll be the
lightweight
first to
shirt.
say I was skeptical about it. And then I watched one of my buddies that didn't have any sitting next to me in a blind getting decimated by mosquitoes, and I was sitting there fine. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
it
that's
works.
kind of what happened to me and Chris.
Yeah, I was getting eat up by horse flies, and Ben Moss was. I was like, Are they not getting you?" He's like, "No, I haven't
Yeah,
been bit one time."
I'm fine.
Like, give me my shirt back.
No doubt.
Yeah, here, take the camera.
yeah, I can model.
Well, hey, so I got a burning question already. So
Come
I've
on.
been listening to a bunch of the DU stuff. You know, this time of year, they're looking at the Mayponds, they're looking at all the duck numbers and the survey numbers and stuff. And one thing I've really been keying in on and interested in, kind of across a bunch of different landscapes, particularly in our flyway, is what are people doing to conserve their wetlands? So you already talked about having kind of two diverse wetlands on y'all's track. So tell me a little bit about the size of those and the biodiversity there and what y'all are doing to preserve those and make those super attractive for ducks.
Man, it's being able to, and it all comes with learning the area you're in, and by trial and error, being able to kind of time out your rains and knowing. So like our main wetland is it's literally two giant squares. I mean, I'd say across it, it's probably, each one's probably 200 by 200, if not bigger. And with a levee separating them, and then a pit blind in the middle of the back one. And we've got, a shutoff system where I can let water out of one into the other, flood into the timber hole. I can do all these things, but you've got to know and kind of time out how much you're letting out at what times of the year. Because, there was a point this year, Oklahoma through the spring got record amounts of rain. Like, came up feet. The Arkansas River was blown out. They were having to let the lake out. And so at that time, I still had to kind of adjust with, okay, I'm going to let out this much water. But I've also got to take into account that I know Oklahoma is going to go into a dry time.
Mm-hmm.
I know that Oklahoma is going to go into a drought. We always do at some point. So to have enough reserve water in that well. And honestly, I prefer to leave mine a couple 2 to 3 feet high, leading closer up to duck season. And then if duck season gets there, that I can let it out right before. But it's making sure you leave yourself that buffer, that you don't get yourself in a pinch where you've let out too much water too early in the year and now you're not getting the rain and now you just have a desert landscape out there.
So let me ask you this then. What's the incentive to let any water out? I mean, like what you just said makes a ton of sense to me. Leave it there, and then if you get to duck season, you got too much water, let it out at that point. But you also phrased it like it's a balancing act of figuring out how much to let out without letting out too much. So what's the incentive to let any water out at all?
So you're trying to create, so the way my brain works with a wetland. Well, my first question is, I'd ask anybody, what is your goal of this wetland? Are you trying to create a rest area? Trying to mid after? Are you trying to create that spot that they hit first thing in the morning to feed on? What are you trying to create? And so with me, the way I try to see it is I've got a levee that separates those two. So the side my pit blind is on is the main side that I plant, and I plant a lot of golden millet. There's smartweed in there, and I'm trying to get that water level correct where you've got to be you're sitting in that pit, but you've got to have at least that bank side where it's low enough where those ducks can still feed and they can see that millet and they can get to that millet. And then also providing them where the water flows towards that levee, letting that backside get deeper where they also have a rest area. And that's also where I let a lot of those along the edges, along the sides, I'll let that native grass get really tall. And that's a big tip I would give for a lot of people. If you've duck hunted enough, you know that, like, yes, obviously ducks will sleep on open water, obviously this, but ducks also enjoy cover. They enjoy being able to get into grass, get into those things. So I like to leave kind of like a taller layer grass on my edges, and then I let that water out to where I let that back wetland be more of a safe, low. They're not really going to feed on it because it's too deep unless they're right up on the edge, but it lets them have this safety zone of rest. And then that other wetland is more of a feeding area. So I kind of try to provide the best of both worlds with that wetland, and kind of, you got to make your food visible. You don't let out enough water, your planting's never going to take. I've got to be able to get the water level low enough to plant around my edges and get the seed to take. And then, you're still hoping for rain. You still got to time it out where there's still rain coming in the forecast, but trying to create a diverse area for those ducks to really kind of have everything they could need to stay there.
Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. And part of the reason I asked that, and you hit on this, is I was wondering what all kinds of food you're putting in those moist soil units. Knowing that you can't have 10 foot of water and get a gold top millet to come up. So, yeah, man, that makes a ton of sense.
So let's transition from the farm and let's talk about Crash and kind of the operation that you run there and the responsibilities that you have there. Because you guys, you have a lot of property there that you have access to.
A ton.
So let's talk about kind of your duties with Crash. It's certainly now that you're there full time and working that year round, but also once we get into season, you've got guests and clients that start coming into the lodge, which is absolutely beautiful. Owen and I got to go over to Oklahoma for the dove hunt and stay in the lodge, and man, that place is amazing. You guys killed it when you built that. But yeah, just tell us a little bit about Crash and what you guys have going on there, and then we'll dive into guiding ducks.
I'll hit it with the first cliche line. It is a major league experience.
Yeah, I like it.
It really is, man. Everyone's jobs, man. That's what's so cool about Crash is we all have the same duties, but we all also have kind of our own responsibilities that we each kind of handle ourselves throughout the guides. And I was a guy that came in lowest spot on the totem pole. I don't think I was on the totem pole. And when you're an early rising guy and you're coming up in the ranks, you're a scout. You're earning your keep as a scout, and then working up to earning trust as a guide that can be let loose to run with clients and provide a safe hunt and a fun hunt for those folks. And it's something that I take a lot of pride in, and all of us take a lot of pride in, because we don't hire guys at Crash that don't believe in Crash or what we're trying to do with it. Mac and Archie have worked so hard for so many years, from raising this thing up, from running guides and clients out of a single wide to now having a 14-bed lodge that is otherworldly. And that comes with having a good group of guys behind you. And a lot of the responsibilities stem to, as duck season's rolling, if there's 2 of us out on a hunt, there's 5 of us on the road looking for ducks. There's never anyone sitting still. And then once we're getting back from the hunts, there's all hands on deck. All right, let's clean these ducks. We got to get them ripped. We got to get them bagged, tagged, vacuum sealed, making sure the clients are able to transport their ducks back across state lines or wherever they're coming from, making sure the trailers are set, making sure that night before, all right, well, I need 4 butt ripplers. I need 3 wing spinners. I need a jerk rig, and I need 4 dozen decoys and 10 chairs. And making sure that trailer's set before the morning, and then come straight back from that hunt. If we evening hunt that night, all right, let's rip that all out of the trailer. What do we need for this evening hunt? We're transferring from river to dry field. And it's just being able to adjust and know that you have responsibilities, but they stem so much further than that, and you just got to lend a hand.
Yeah. Let's talk about you've mentioned scouting several times, and the importance of being a scout and finding duck. What does that look like for you guys? I mean, what do you mean by scouting? Like, what it say? Let's just look at it like this. Let's say that you've got some clients in the lodge, and one of the other guides is taking them to the spot. You're left there to scout. What does that look like?
So usually Mac will deliberate all of us. We all have certain locations, right? Mm-hmm. So he'll divvy us across different towns, different locations, and usually you will have a starting point of, we lease this, we've been seeing ducks on it. Start there, see what's there. And usually you have 2 to 3 spots that you already know you're going to check. And then Mac's biggest thing, and become my biggest thing, after that, go get lost. Go get lost, get on your Onyx, and go drive. And keep driving until it gets dark. And that's kind of the mantra, and that's how you find ducks. I see a lot of guys that check their couple spots. All right, ducks aren't here, I'm going home. Well, check your spots, whether they're there or not. All right, let's go find some fresh ones. Let's go chase the river down. Let's go run the Arkansas for a while. Let's go check this flooded cornfield. Let's go try to find some sheet water. You've got to be willing to stick the miles on your truck to find them. I mean, literally the biggest find I had all year last year was sitting on a bridge looking across the Arkansas River. I hadn't seen a duck in 3 days, and saw 4 ducks peel around a corner. Ended up finding out that we had a farmer 2 miles down the road with river access. And as I popped up over his river chasing these 4 ducks, I found 4,000 sitting on a sandbar. So it's just being willing to, like I said, Mac kind of deliberates us and sends us out our ways. But after you check your spots, like I said, just being willing to get lost and really put in those extra miles to find the birds. And that's kind of how you separate yourself from those other outfits, is if you want to consistently kill ducks, you got to consistently put miles on the truck, which is what it is.
Mm-hmm. So you're scouting properties that you guys have leased for the season. You're kind of starting with that, but then if that doesn't pan out, then you're on Onyx, just, I mean, almost like scouting public land. I mean, you're just out there freelancing at that point in time.
No, that's a great way to put it. It is legitimately kind of like being on state land, and it's you're on your Onyx looking for landowners. All right, I saw ducks go down here. I got a name. Now I've got an address. You're door knocking. You got to have, that's another big thing of being a guide. You got to have people skills, not just with the clients, but like you've got to be an approachable person and someone that can talk to someone, because I'll just be real. Some of these towns we're out hunting and scouting in, there's people that, I mean, it's middle of nowhere. And there's a lot of reason people live in the middle of nowhere is to not be bothered by other people.
Fair enough.
So you've got to be able to talk to anyone. You've got to be able to be presentable. You got to be able to be, incredibly polite, and just be someone that can make a conversation with anyone, because that's how we get ducks. It's how we get properties. I mean, half my year is spent door knocking, or guys sending me an address that need help finding a phone number or something, and talking to landowners, building relationship with landowners, and that's how it continues to grow. That's how the property continues to grow, is being able to chase ducks down, chase them in the air, find them on someone else's property, and being able to build a relationship and get that permission to be able to start hunting that.
Yeah, see, I think that's one thing that I didn't really understand from the guide perspective, is that, like, if you don't have, I mean, obviously you guys have a ton of land that's leased and that you have access to, but if that's, for some reason, if that's not panning out, like, you can't just be like, oh, well, it's just not going to work out tomorrow. Like, you, I mean, you got
Exactly.
clients in town that want to shoot ducks, and it's your job to find them, regardless of where they are.
No, I mean, your job as a guide at the end of the day.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
The clients don't stop coming in.
Yeah, start back over is your job at the end of the day is.
Well, your job at the end of the day is finding birds.
Yeah.
You've got to find. Don't stop coming. Care.
Well,
he's doing that thing where you get on the phone.
UFO.
Yeah,
he's doing that thing where you get on the phone
across
and you just
everywhere and
get to
travel with my buddies.
Yeah.
Oh, baby. I put the miles on them boots because I was way too poor for one of them nice Prodigies, so I walked.
So how many miles are you driving in a duck season? Just ballpark.
I think my average a duck season on my truck has come out around 17,000, 18,000.
Okay.
In 3 months.
All right. Yeah.
So what's the furthest that you've ever had to take a client from the lodge to a piece of property where y'all found birds?
About an hour 15.
And do you ever get any kind of pushback? I mean, does anybody ever show up and go, hey, I thought we were hunting here. What do you mean we got to get in the truck and drive an hour and a half?
You have those. I mean, yeah, you're going to have those clients. You're always, I can honestly say it's been pretty incredible over going on season 4 here now with Crash, that we have had a pretty incredible run of clients and great guys. But I mean, yeah, you definitely have those boys that are like, we're getting up at what time because we have to go how far?
Right.
When, we know we have all the surrounding property. But I mean, at the end of the day, you come to Crash to kill birds. You want to kill birds and you trust us and we'll take you to them. And it's kind of what I tell them. I'm like, look, man, you think I'm super stoked about being up an extra hour and a half earlier than I usually have to be? No.
Yes.
Yes. 60
know what?
days into this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think I'm not running on manual breathing right now and not know my left from right? I'm like, but let me tell you, I promise you, if you're willing to get in this truck with me, we're about to go smack greenheads right in the face. So just get in the truck and smile.
I know what I'd do. but I drive that far every day.
We about got to drive an hour and a half every time we want to go duck hunting.
Yeah,
at least have a good hunt.
Oh yeah. If you're gonna hunt, if you're gonna kill ducks, you can hunt. You can hunt 10 minutes from the house, but if you're gonna kill ducks, it's an hour and a half driving every day.
No doubt.
Yeah,
every day, unless you have somewhere to stay closer.
Yeah.
Right.
That was Montana, man. Montana, you had to cover some ground to get on birds.
Yeah, at least Montana's not a real big state.
Yeah. Hey, so what kind of hunting are y'all doing out there? Like, obviously here in the southeast, like we're doing a lot of timber and some ag, but what it's all water here. Like, what are you guys doing out there? Is it dry? Do you have dry field access, or are you doing like a mixture of dry field water? Do you have timber out there? What does it look like?
Man, other than timber, just with the amount of property we've been able to procure over the years, things we really do have options for just about everything other than timber. I mean, we've got big river, skinny river, sheet water, dry fields, and cattle ponds. I would say where we make our bread and butter, honestly, of all things, is cattle ponds and then the river. And I'll just say this for anyone who hasn't hunted it: when it is right. When it is right, there is no more magical place on this earth to hunt than the Arkansas River when it is right.
He's not lying.
But
Have you hunted it?
no,
it's
different.
special.
Really?
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those that I've been on some of these hunts, and don't get me wrong, I like to burn them migra shells. I love it. I love letting that 12 gauge bark, but there's legitimately been hunts on the Arkansas where I just sit up against a tree and call, and I couldn't care less. I just want to watch it because it's different. But yeah, man, we kind of have the best of all worlds except timber, which is the one thing in my duck hunting career I have not got to experience it, and it drives me insane.
You've never done it?
No, I've never been in timber. Never. Yeah.
Wow.
Mississippi, Arkansas, nothing. I've never been in timber.
Well, we could probably change that.
Yeah, I'll trade
We
one
need-
with you.
Real bad. Real bad.
So, what about dogs? I mean, are you guys running dogs out there? Do you have a dog? I mean, do clients bring dogs? That's my favorite is when clients bring dogs.
We do. We have a mix. So I'm gonna try to answer this as politically correct as I can.
Yeah.
Well, you can be honest.
Yeah.
Man, we have two incredible dogs, Chief and Sadie. Incredible dogs, go back to training every year. I mean, they're machines. It is literally these Chief and Sadie are two dogs that have such incredible instincts that, like, I have been sitting in the blind running one of them, not seeing any birds. And I'll just look over and stare at them for about 30 seconds because they'll see them a mile in the air before I'll ever see them. I have found more ducks looking at those dogs' eyes than anything, just watching them. And we do have clients bring out dogs here and there.
Isn't that your favorite?
Man, is it? I do. Hey, I give a shout out to Mr. Chase Rice. His dog, I feel bad. I can't remember his name right now, but his dog was a machine. He came out for 5 days, hunted his dog all 5 days, and he was a champ. But you don't ever know what you're getting when someone brings a dog.
Yeah.
What's the craziest dog breed that anybody's brought up there?
Have you ever had a
Honestly,
Jack Russell
man,
Terrier in the
Sadly, no. I'd kind of love to see it. I will say the craziest, they've pretty much all been all labs. I will say the craziest dog, though, that still to this day I have ever witnessed in my life was John Langston's lab. That dog, I thought I
Now
watched
he's
his
just name
dog die.
dropping.
Now he's just named. Hey, does he listen to the show?
I mean,
Probably does.
Yeah, he said, man, I
But-
think it was just last week. It was Luke Bryan, Luke Combs, and I think Riley Greenwood. No, that was the weekend
No, it was
prior.
Chris Stapleton. He
no,
was there.
that was Ella. I'm gonna tell you what. No, I'm not even gonna say that. I'm gonna
Down a rabbit
that
hole.
almost got off. We're gonna behave. No, I watched John Langston's dog. Like, I was fully convinced the dog was gonna die. We're hunting a skinny river up a big embankment. I mean, I'm no joke. When we're shooting these ducks and they're finishing down on the water. We are shooting them on the tops of their backs. We're 40, 50 feet above this river. And John has this lab. I'm trying to, again, just terrible with dog names.
Great with country music names.
I know. Hang on.
Was it Drake?
Zora?
Or that dog hit the
Zora?
ground.
Isn't it Zora?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Zora. It was Zora.
Yeah.
And I have never seen a dog
The
with higher
first
drive
thing
than that
Owen
dog.
has said the entire show.
That's not true. Don't pick on Owen. He's just taking it all
I'm
in.
taking it in.
But you said that was the highest drive dog you'd ever seen.
Man, I mean, just losing her mind. I mean, I've seen, our dogs are crazy, love their ducks. But I mean, that dog looked like she was ready to run through a brick wall for one. And she was, because I watched that dog fly through the air and go 50 plus feet down and hit this sandbank, bounces, does a front flip, hits the sand and right back to her feet and goes and grabs that duck and runs like a 40-yard retrieve.
How did she get back up to y'all?
Oh, man, she ran right up that bank. She scaled it like nothing. But, I mean, I legit thought I was watching a client's dog die that day. It is.
Is that the same bank that Eddie slid down with the GoPro in his hand?
Oh, yeah.
I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
We'll ask when we get Eddie on the show. We'll ask him about that.
Eddie is not a graceful man when he falls.
Listen, I got to watch Chris fall this past weekend.
Oh,
and I thought,
yeah.
I didn't
Did
think
you
he
eat
had,
it?
I didn't think he had
Dude,
the
it
air
still
left in his
hurts.
lungs. You've never heard such a solid thud.
dude, we were going down this embankment to a river bottom.
Clay mud.
Oh yeah. So as soon as my feet hit the slick mud, I think they were pointing at the sky.
It was a Tom and Jerry moment if I've ever seen one.
It wasn't like I fell on my bottom.
No,
it was literally my rear end and my feet were in the air, and the first thing that hit was the flat of my back.
Yeah,
Solid.
flat.
I'm talking about solid.
Yeah, he let out. It was like a silent for a second, and then he let out one of these.
Ben Moss is like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good."
Yeah, it was.
I had mud under my shirt, like up to my neck, under my shirt. It was terrible.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it was not good.
You're getting too old for that, old son. You got to be careful,
Dude,
man.
you
You're going to have to
ain't
start carrying a
lying.
life
That's what I
alert
told
around
him.
and keep doing that.
That's what I told him. I almost said, "You're gonna fall and not be able to get up."
My neck hurt the next day. It was like whiplash.
He took a baby aspirin
like-
and was fine.
I know I'm not that old. I know I'm going on 26, but even this year has been such a realization of like, okay, man, like you got to start taking a little care of yourself, because like it's crazy the things you start to feel. I played a beer league slow pitch softball game and didn't warm up, and I was crippled for 4 days after.
Well,
I didn't used to warm up before I played a college football game, and I have to warm up now for beer league slow pitch softball. That's where we're at.
look on the bright side. At least when you got clients coming to hunt, you can feel the weather changing in your knees.
Yeah.
Oh, son. I feel it. I feel it.
Hey, so let me ask you this: what kind of like when you guys go out to set up decoys? Like, what does that look like? You know, I mean, obviously here in our area hunting timber, I mean, Ben Moss's situation is a little different. You guys run a ton of decoys, but
Yeah, we run at the beginning of the year. We've got 5 or 6 dozen out, and we're slowly picking away from them as the year goes on. But
for us, like 2 to 3 dozen is a big spread,
right?
You know, if we're hunting in the timber, I mean, 12 is perfect. I like shooting them over a dozen decoys. But what are you guys doing out there? I mean, I know you hunting much bigger open areas.
They're just letting the clients tell them where to put the decoys, man.
Yeah, you guide the guide. There's nothing like guide.
Man, you already just hit one of my pet peeves.
I want to hear you.
quick.
Hey, hold up.
I can see him now. Rule one.
Answer my decoy question. But as soon as we get done with that, I got to hear your best guiding the guide story.
Yeah, I do need to hear that one.
Guide to God story. All right, I'll think of one.
But
I'll be honest.
Talk decoy sets.
Decoy sets.
37 mojos.
Man, don't even get me started. That
during teal season, it's nothing but spinners, right? You just put out like,
but it has to be doves.
Oh,
It has to be dove spinners. They work better until.
I'll be real. I will not. If it's my hunt, I'm running the hunt. And honestly, we really don't first and foremost, it's, we're not hunting an area that we haven't at least had eyes on for the last couple of days. You're not trying to throw a decoy spread to the size that these ducks are coming in and being like, where did all these come from? I'm trying to, when it comes to decoys, and I'll say even when it comes to calling, less is more, in my opinion. Less is more.
Well,
and so
the way y'all do it for sure, because you're not running traffic. You're on the X.
Yeah, you're on the X, and so it sounds crazy, but to some people might disagree, some people might agree. I'm trying to give them less to look out and pick out, if that makes sense.
Right.
I'm not trying, have them trying to decipher, well, why is all of a sudden there 8 dozen ducks here that weren't here yesterday, and we were the 5 dozen? Where'd the 8 dozen come from? And so it's all about knowing your scenario. Yeah, if I've got 4,000 ducks sitting on the Arkansas River, I'm gonna run a pretty decent spread. But these cattle ponds and stuff, man, we're running 3 to 5 dozen at the max.
And spinners?
Lord, no. I'm only running a spinner. I'm running a spinner on a dry field and a river. You will not catch me putting a spinner in a cattle pond. In my
walk me through the
time
logic
duck
there.
hunting,
I got to know why, because I'm a spinner. Like, I run a spinner all day, every day.
Chris tried to have custom spinner wings made for himself.
Oh, dude, I'm running a spinner. I love a spinner. Cloudy, sunny.
I already know.
Wind.
I already know you own a Spoonzilla. I know you own a Spoonzilla.
Look, I tried to buy one at the DU banquet, got outbid. I could, but
and he wasn't going to hunt with it. He was going to put it on his bedside table, and his wife said no.
Have you seen the Donald Trump one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's.
Oh, dude, I want it so bad.
Oh man, I would hunt with that though. Like,
yeah. No.
Not on a cattle
pond. I'm a huge proponent of water motion, man. I'm a massive proponent of 10 times out of 10, I would rather run a jerk cord and a couple butt ripplers or something than ever run a spinner. I think a spinner attracts a lot of attention. I think, and again, when you're running traffic, when you're running these big groups, you're running like for say in the dry fields. I have never seen birds work to spinners like I have in a dry field in Oklahoma. We even figured out that we used to spread them. We, on these big cut cornfields, we'd run 6-8 spinners, but we kind of spread them. And then these big groups would come in and they would kind of piece off, and all these different groups would try to land on the back of them. And then we kind of figured out, and we started bunching 5, 6 towards the middle of the spread, and the whole group would try to sit on their dadgum backs. But hunting over these cattle ponds, what I've noticed is, yes, I can say, whoever wants to argue it, whatever, the spinning decoy works in my eyes for about 20 minutes. But when that sunlight really gets up and that sunlight really gets on it, I think it does more bad than good. I'm not saying you won't kill ducks over it. I'm not saying ducks won't work to them. But I have seen through trial and error and guiding for 6 years and hunting for many years before that water motion seems to flare ducks a heck of a lot less than a spinning decoy does.
I would agree with that.
And I do too.
I would 100% agree with that.
I like water motion better than anything else too. So that brings me to a good question. What have you found as far as robo ducks go? What water motion decoy have you found and had the most success with? Because golly, there's a baker's dozen on the market now.
Yeah. Like the swimming
Lucky duck
ones?
agitator.
Really?
Lucky duck agitator. I call it the duck bidet. With its little.
Oh, we call them pisser butts. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know they were called agitators.
Yeah, that's the Lucky Duck agitator.
Yeah, we run several.
Honestly,
of those.
man, I like to run, if I'm running 3 to 5 dozen floaters, I'm running maybe three or 4 agitators. And you can dial that up, dial that down. Like I said, what I love about water motion is I don't think you can have too much.
I agree.
Where I think with spinning wings and things, you can 100% have too much in a short time. Where I don't think it's ever a bad thing to have more water moving. I don't think it's ever a bad thing to have that spread look more alive.
Right.
And so I'm a big proponent of the agitator, and then just kind of that general, I don't know if it's the correct term, but literally just like the Lucky Duck, the butt rippler, just keeping that water kind of vibrating.
Just like the bobble butt thing.
Well, it just sits there and vibrates.
Yeah.
Have you ever used, not sponsored, so this is not an ad, however,
We're accepting sponsorships.
Right. Mojo, if you're listening to this, have you seen the new, I say new, I think
know
they
exactly
got released
what you're
last year,
talking
the
about.
Mallard machines that Mojo came out with?
Dude, so I have actually heard about them, and my buddy Jess, who's out in Kansas, he said he just bought 3 or 4 of them, and he apparently loves them. I haven't got
Dude,
to see them in person in action.
Absolutely insane.
It's the real deal.
The amount of motion that those things put out, and
So-
I agree about the agitators because I think we put out 6 every morning, unless
That's
a couple
the same
are
thing as
busted.
the pulsator, right? The Higdon pulsator.
I can't. Can
It
Yeah,
sprays
pretty much.
water.
Which,
it like sprays water on
Yep.
itself and bobs.
Yeah.
But so we ran like a half dozen of those and thought that they hung the moon. Thought they were great. We got 2 of the Mojo Mallard machines, and they put the other ones to shame.
You know what I like about the Mallard machine too? It's quiet.
Yeah, I've seen ducks flare
See-
because they were trying to land right
Genuinely.
as that thing pissed,
Yeah.
and I've seen them flare on it.
Yeah.
Now, what are the odds that's going to happen? A lot, but anyway, the Mojo thing.
that's
a
the
real
point
deal.
I wanted to make. That's a point I wanted to make, though, is I will say, if there is one thing I could change about the Lucky Duck agitator or the Higdon, or is it Higdon or Higdon? Is it
Higdon.
Higdon. Yeah.
Yeah, or the Higdon agitator is I don't like the noise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I don't think it
have
bothers
seen
ducks
it
as much
flared
as it bothers us.
Yeah,
I
right,
really
right.
don't.
Honestly, I think like I think it's a duck, like hitting the water.
Yeah, I mean,
It just drives me crazy because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, what was that? And I look over, it's just the pulsator.
listening
know-
to it for hours on end.
yeah. Well, we do it. We do it. But I'm telling you, look into those Mallard machines this year,
Yeah,
and
those
those
are
cattle
legit.
ponds, dude. How big are your cattle ponds?
Oh, I mean, they vary everything from size of a master bedroom to the size of a half of an Olympic pool. I mean, they kind of bounce all
Well,
over.
even still, even like the half Olympic pool ones, you could put 2 Mallard machines in there, and the whole thing would keep motion the entire morning.
I think that's the only that Mallard machine is the only thing that could legitimately take their place of a jerk rig. The pulsator to me does not take the place of a jerk. It doesn't move enough water.
And the perfect
But-
puller does a good job at reinventing the jerk ring. The
If
jerk
you
string.
have that, if you
Right.
have access to that,
Well,
I
we're
mean,
just talking available technology.
hunting public land, it's hard to carry a car battery out there.
It's not a car battery.
I mean,
It's not a car battery.
Basically.
Good night of
it's
living.
basically a car battery.
It's like
I'm
a
out there
4-wheeler battery.
I'm out there lugging the Die Hard, running through the woods with a 75-pound deep cycle battery
Well,
in my arms.
you got no issue carrying out 85 pounds of camera gear.
That's different.
Yeah, you get paid for
I'm
that.
not gonna lie.
Yeah, but most folks are not getting. They're not carrying a bunch. Either way, whatever. All that to be said, try the Mojo Mallard machine.
Those things
Not
are sweet,
sponsored.
yeah.
Looking
I'd
for
say
sponsors. They are
About to
sweet.
say,
We
I'm
will
like, if
work
I've
for
got to
gear,
run
though.
a 75,
100% will work for gear and for hunts.
say I'm open to try whatever. I will say, if I have to lug in a Die Hard battery, the only thing that's gonna be dying is me. When after I get in there, I'm just gonna walk out in the water and use it as an anchor. Just go ahead and get it over. with.
Yeah.
I'm not
Speaking of-
walking it back out.
I was about to make a stupid joke, so I'm not going to make it. Nobody would have thought it was funny but me. But Die Hard's a Christmas movie. Anyway,
Hey, so I had another. You were talking
Agreed.
about You were talking about calling earlier. Oh, wait! Hold on. We had to go back to our story.
yeah, but you just added a layer to it because I want to hear about the. I mean,
Oh, you want? Let's talk.
I
Let's talk
want to
about
hear.
clients.
I want to talk about him having to put up with clients who it sounds like
Yeah.
they just picked up a duck call for the first time and they are getting after it.
Let's talk about best. Hold up. All right, let's do this. I think I know how we can make this awesome. Let's talk about as a client. All right, say I'm booking a hunt.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm coming to see you. All right, how can I be the best client versus how can I be the worst client?
That's a great question.
That's
but I still do want to hear
Oh, wow.
specifics on your best calling experiences with clients.
Well, I think that could fall into being a bad client.
It definitely could. I'm just looking for specifics.
Because we want to hear about guiding the guide.
I want him to drop names, and I'm not talking about Chris Staples.
and then and we want to hear about
voice of an angel, but you should hear him on a duck call.
we want to hear about Dave coming in and blowing his duck call like a world champion.
Yeah.
The DR85.
Yeah, running Main Street. Yeah.
All right.
I think there's a reason I have a hearing aid in my left ear now.
All right. So what does the best client look like? Like what do you like in a client?
Oh, and write this down.
Man, it's not complicated. In the most genuinely like respectful, kind way, not being like a jerk or anything at all. Like you're coming, you're paying for a hunt, you're paying to be guided, you're paying to be quote unquote pampered. Let us do our jobs. All I need you to do is enjoy yourself, have a great time, be safe, sit there with that gun, and when I tell you to blast them, you blast them. And that is the simplest thing you can do, is just be there for what you're there for. You're there to be taken on a duck hunt. You're there to hang out with the guy. You're there for an experience. So let me give you that experience. Because I mean, in the kindest way of putting this, you're paying me and the other guides to take you duck hunting, right? You're paying us to call. You're paying us to run these things. So why are you screaming on your Walmart Echo call?
There it is.
Name dropping.
Here we
oh
go.
my gosh, no.
The quackhead.
Yeah.
The freaking
Owen said,
quackhead.
I'm throwing away my Walmart
Primos.
Echo call as soon as I get home.
Yep.
I will never blow
The
it.
winch.
Well, hang on.
Just
now.
like I said, like it's
I'm just
the
kidding.
winch is a great call.
So is the DR85.
it's genuinely
I
meant
agree.
in a. No, they're a good call. There is.
I know what Jacob's
I
about
can
to say.
make.
Malt gear.
Oh baby, Let me go ahead and just throw that plug to y'all real quick, and anyone who's listening. I have ran through the ringer of duck calls, and not in a remotely cocky way. Anything. You're a good duck caller. You can figure out and tune a call to blow it to an extent of how you want it to sound. I have never pulled a call out of the box, tuned it, none, not touched the reed, not touched the nothing, and had a duckier, nastier sounding call than that Molt Gear single reed, and just the range that it gives you, where I can be high and squeaky with it like a little bouncing hen, and if I really needed to, I can get down and dirty and raspy with it like I needed to be in the timber. And that is I'll die on that hill right now. That
So
Molt Gear has the best single reed pump.
So you're not running a cut down.
I would rather not call.
Hey,
all right.
Chris is going to end the show.
That's going to be the end
Chris
of this
will end
episode. Well, hey, Jacob, we appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, hey, man. I thought you were a professional. You have now shown us that you have no credibility.
You are out.
Wait, so
No, I mean, dude, it's.
I thought we
I'll
could
be
be
real.
friends.
There are guys that can sing on them. I will say I'm not one of them. I used to have a old Mondo 2B, and
2x.
I won't lie. I have never had more trouble tuning I can't cuss, a daggum duck call than I have that Mondo.
Easy.
I have never.
I know.
And like
Well,
I
he's
said,
not talking
it's a
bad
tried
about
and
the
true
Mondo.
call.
He's talking bad about himself.
I'm talking bad about myself. I
Yeah.
can't blow it. It just ain't my special.
See? You see what happens? You start talking bad about the Mondo. God's gonna cut you down.
That Mondo's a fine call.
It's great.
It sounds like an angry squirrel barking at me.
I do it.
Oh, that's what he
Okay.
comes.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, thanks for coming on. It's been. Go back to the call that you blow though. I don't think I'd ever
The molt gear.
I don't think I've ever heard of that.
I've heard of them before.
No, man, it's a small company ran by one guy. He hand tunes every single call he makes. Like he'll literally, if he gets a big influx of orders, he'll shut down his website for a while to make sure,
The
because he's
books are
so
closed.
meticulous
Yeah.
about.
Where's he out of, Jacob?
Rochester, Minnesota.
Let me.
Oh,
You pulled it up.
Let's say he's out.
Does he make
believes
a
out of
cut
Minnesota,
down?
but no.
Hold up.
Oh,
I don't think.
Jacob, I'm not the best duck caller on the planet, but I do collect them, and I love like just having so many different ones, and I really like supporting. You know, if I know the guy that's making the calls, or I know the guy that started the company, I love to collect those types of calls. So I'll have to look into him and see what's what.
No, man, that's my thing. I've gotten really into that too as of the last couple of years, and honestly, I have like some custom. I have custom cut downs. I have like a Frankenstein Mondo and stuff. Like I love them, but that's the biggest thing I love about that guy is, like you said, I like supporting that small business guy that turned out a great call.
Right.
And like I said, that guy will literally shut down his website when he gets too big of an influx of orders because he wants every call to come out the same and sound exactly the same. And he will take his time to build those calls to that spec. And I have to give props where props is due to Dylan Claybaker. He got it with me the last 2 years. He still guides on and off, but he runs a ranch out there. But we were on the river. I'll never forget it. I've been running a justified single read for like 2-3 seasons. I'm a big proponent on, you want to be a good duck caller, learn a single read, because once you're a single read, it gives you more range than any other call can. It allows you to hit different tones and different variances that other calls can't. But I remember sitting up above him. We were about 60, 70 yards apart, and I heard that thing bounce off the river, and I had just never heard a duck ear sound that didn't come out of a duck. And I mean, honestly, from that day, I was just sold, and I have never ran an easier running call with more range than that molt gear, and I will die on that hill.
Well, whenever you come down here and hunt the timber with us, I'll show you how to force ducks into a hole with a cut down.
This guy thinks he's Darth Vader.
We don't. Hey, look. In the words of Devin Singleton, we don't ask nicely.
No, hey, look, man.
Devin's another one too. Devin
that's a
can make
good
a
one.
call
Yeah.
sound like, and I'm not just talking about the ones that he puts out. You could probably give Devin any call from any call maker. Give him 10 minutes with it to sit there and play with it. He's gonna have it sound
He's a champ.
ducky.
Yeah, he's a champ.
That's the thing is, like, I just never, and don't get me wrong, there is 1,000% an application for those cut downs, and they sound better than any call in the world in the timber, and that is what they are made for. And I don't think any call sounds better in the trees. But
However,
however, in an Oklahoma dry field, it does not sound right. It sounds like a mallard that is choked down an entire corn cob and it got stuck halfway down.
So what you're telling me is,
Like,
when I go to Canada next month to hunt dry fields, I should leave my Mondos at the house.
Not if you can preach on it, but at least the people I've had in the blind with me in Oklahoma that have them need to donate them.
Wait, are these clients? We're back on the client.
Well, I can't hold a Sunday sermon, but I can teach a
client-
Bible school.
Wait, what? Cut out what?
You said if I could preach on it. I'm not holding Sunday service,
Hey,
but I
man.
can teach a Bible school.
If you can sing to that angel choir of them, man, I'm down with it. Like, it's just, I think my disdain that's been built up towards Mondos is because of other people that don't know how to make them sound correct.
No,
So they
it's
just
become-
sound as loud as they possibly
It's
can.
become trendy to say that you blow it, and I will acknowledge that. However,
Yeah.
There's
like,
also a certain it is, and again, it's regional, right? I mean, Oklahoma, even probably in Montana, this is not a big thing, but in Mississippi, Louisiana, especially Arkansas, there's almost a nostalgia to that old trademark, old bark. Like, and it's like one of those, like, you ever go back to eat at one of those places that you ate at as a kid and it was always a treat, and it's not as good as you remember it being, but the nostalgia makes it taste better than it is. You know what I'm talking about?
1,000%. Oh yeah.
And
Oh yeah.
that's kind of how I think about it a lot of times, because I know what you're talking about. It's since it's become so trendy, so many people pick them up and probably ought not.
No, that's what I need to clarify here. Let me clarify for the listeners and my Mississippi boys chilling here. I don't hate the call. I hate people who buy the call, don't learn how to properly run it, and then proceed to
Come to
I don't really know how to
crash and
properly
blow
run.
one in the blind.
Dude, yeah, and like, oh, let's go to crash landing, let's go hop in the blind, and let's just go scream this thing as loud as I possibly can for the next 2 hours, and never sound like a duck inside of those 2 hours.
As the
That's
sun's
what drives
coming up
me
in the
insane.
blind, look down. Hey, Jacob, you don't mind if I tune this new Mondo, do you?
So
You don't mind taking a swim, do you?
so what about do the clients help you put out decoys?
No, so we always make sure we get there usually about an hour and a half before the clients. Like I said, cheesy or not, I will, another hill I'll die on. I don't think there's other incredible outfits in Oklahoma and in Kansas. I will never, and you'll never hear me badmouth an outfit. If everyone could kill ducks every year, that's how I'd want it. But I don't think you're going to find anywhere better in Oklahoma by a long shot for a better duck hunting experience. But we also try to provide, like, I don't know how to say it, like a luxurious, more a laid back experience where all
I get it. It's a
yeah,
5-star experience.
yeah, dude. I mean, we've got our cooks cooking for you. When you show up to the blind, I've got when it's cold out there, I got 3 buddy heaters running on propane tanks in that A-frame. Your chair's set, your pockets loaded full of shells, blinds brushed in, decoys are set. All you got to do is get out of that truck, sit down in that blind, and then I drive your truck back and park it. I want you to have as little to do as possible. And that's, like I said, what comes back to when you ask being a perfect client is like, let me take care of you. Let me do my job for you. That is what you are paying me to do. Let me give you the best experience I can possibly give you. And you just sit there and enjoy yourself, man. Like, that's my biggest thing. You don't feel like you have to move decoys. Don't feel like you have to help do these things. Don't feel like you have to help work these ducks. Like, not in a bad way, but like, this is what we make our living doing, is trying to put people in the best scenario to kill ducks.
So if the client comes to you and says, hey, look, I've got this DR85 in my bag. Do you mind if I help you call ducks? What's your response to that?
I don't think he cut out that time.
Anyone the benefit of the doubt. Like I said, you know what, though? At the same time, at the end of the day, it's your hunt. You want to rip that call and scream on it, you have every right to do it.
So
you
would give them the opportunity.
Oh, I'll give anyone the opportunity to run their dog or blow their call, but I will also nicely at times be like, hey, brother, like, don't need to hit them right there. Hey, let's lay off of them a little bit.
Corners.
Hey, buddy, do you mind putting that call back in the blind bag?
Yeah, like, you notice how those ducks were just cupped up about to finish and now they're heading to a different county? Yeah, there's something that happened there.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, like I said, these are paying for their hunt, and they have every right to run their dog, run their call, whatever they'd like to do. I just make it clear to them that I'm like, hey man, if your dog's busting and blowing birds, like, that's your hunt. You know what I mean? Like, I can't make those ducks come back and you'll get an extra day because your dog flared birds. You don't get extra birds because you screamed on a call and flared a bunch of birds. So,
We're running a business.
It's free will in that fact. Yeah, like I said, it all comes down to just let me take care of you. Let us do what we're good at and give you the best experience in the world. But also, like I said, there's people that come out. I've had great callers in the blind. I've had great dogs that clients have brought out. There's bad and there's good. And I've definitely seen both over going on what now? Season, like I said, 4 going to Crash? Yeah.
I do think that's good
But
advice, though, because, I mean, and I'm sure y'all are getting people from all over the daggum country. But I know, like, I can speak for the three of us at this table. Even if we're paying for a guided hunt, we're going to have a hard time just sitting around drinking by the fire and watching the guides load the trailer up. Like, we're going to be in your hip pocket trying to lend a hand. You know, it's just so. I do think that's good advice for guys coming to be aware that, like, hey, I don't need to feel bad for not helping. Like, this is what they do, and be a little bit more self-aware of that. So I think that's solid.
yeah, man, just enjoy yourself. Understand that you're paying me so you don't have to do this stuff. You can relax with your buddies, kick it, watch college football, have a great time. You don't have to feel obligated to help me with anything. I want to make it an enjoyable experience for you and make you someone who wants to come back and hunt with us every year. We have a lot of clients that we built a lot of great relationships off of as they've continued to come back, and now they're friends. They're like family, and we get excited when they come back in town every year. And like we want that with every client that comes in. I would like every client that comes in to be a return client. Every single one. Well, that's a stretch. Most every single one.
Except the guy with the cut down.
Full sentence out.
The guy with the Mondo. He can stay home. He can stay home next time.
Brother. Oh, brother.
All right. We're gonna have to wrap it up here pretty soon.
Man, I could keep going all night.
I'm having a good time here.
We had to ditch the visual, so I haven't seen what kind of damage you've been doing to your makers over there. But how's that maker sipping on your end?
Oh, baby. It's man, smooth.
Would you compare it to a baby's bottom, perhaps? That smooth?
I thought about it, but I just don't need anything on record online of me referring to
Thank you. Hey, well, with that being said, look, what we normally do when we get into our bourbon review is we got to rank it we give it a grade from 1 to 5, and you can pick any decimals in between there you want.
And this is our first bourbon of season 2.
This is our first bourbon of season 2.
We did a lot of bourbon in season 1.
Yeah. Yep. Leading up to this, we've only had coffee and a couple of beers. However, the beers were fine, and the coffee was too.
Yeah, they was all good.
But this is the first bourbon.
That coffee is good. That coffee that y'all had on that Lost Bread, that stuff is so good.
Oh yeah, the back was grind. They do a good job. All right, so give us a score. 1 to 5. Okay. This is your bourbon. You brought it on. So 1 to 5, 1 being not so great, 5 being amazing. And you can take into account the price.
Makers is always. That's what makes it great for me.
Yeah.
Makers is one of those whiskeys that makes me feel sophisticated while still poor. So. It'll always fall about a solid 3.8 to a 4 for me. It's a good sipping whiskey that I don't have to break my bank for. I'm not going to sit around and sip Jack neat, but I'll sit around and sip Maker's neat.
No, I think you hit it on the head.
I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's a fair score.
And I'd be right there with him. I could probably go 3.9. And the way I've always described Makers is it represents the line. I should say it straddles the line of exactly what he just said. I don't mind mixing it with Coke without feeling, like it's sacrilegious, but I can also drink it neat. Mm-hmm. And so it kind of represents that threshold of, hey, this is a good sipping bourbon, but it's also because of the price point. I'll make a Makers and Coke and not feel bad about it. It's a very, for probably 75% of bourbon drinking Americans, this is like an everyday, like always going to have one in your liquor cabinet, just go to.
Oh yeah,
it's an all timer.
A fifth for $40. That's hard to beat.
Tough to beat. Not to mention you can collect the bottles and put them all above your cabinets, and your wife loves it. nice decor.
Man, it's their favorite.
I would probably give the makers like a 3.5 probably.
Don't love it as much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge low proof bourbon fan.
So when you say low proof, you're 99 and less is what you're considering low proof, less than 100.
Yeah, I mean certain 90. Yeah. I like I really liked like the bottled in, like the bonded is like a good starting point, and then go up. I think for me, I think the sweet spot is like 107 to like 112
Okay.
is a sweet spot. But the challenge there is you're normally not going to find that for $40.
No.
You're not going to find that.
And if you do, it's probably not going to be real smooth. It's going to burn
it's
you
going to hurt
alive.
old granddad.
What is Woodford? What proof is Woodford Reserve?
I think
What
it's
proof is
90
that?
also.
I want to say it's like the low 90s.
Yeah. Elijah
Yeah.
Craig's like
It's not-
94. Now I think Elijah Craig at 94 is getting close.
Well, and see, one of my favorite bourbons of all time is the barrel proof Elijah Craig. But it's like
phenomenal.
But it's like bumping 130.
yeah.
I got a bottle at
The
home. It's like
proof?
128.
Yeah, you're also talking about
More than $100.
80 to 90. Yeah,
Right.
100. You're $100 bottle of
Right,
bourbon.
but it's anywhere from 125 to 130 proof.
Yeah. The best, well, I'm not going to say the best one, but one of my favorites is also Stag.
Yeah,
And-
Junior.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that'll put hair on your chest, son.
Yeah, but you're going to be in the 130s there too. The problem with it is you can't find it, but it is delicious.
Yeah. Well, hit me with Jacob. Chris's big thing is he likes to savor the beverage and then pair it with a food item. So we're
Yeah.
always curious to hear what he's going to be snacking while he sips.
If you got a food pairing,
Medium-
Jay, feel free to share your food pairing.
Oh, dude, medium rare ribeye.
Yeah, that's
Wh-
solid.
Yeah, I mean, whiskey and steak will always be a staple for me
Yeah.
and just a no-brainer. Give me a ribeye, glass of whiskey with a cigar,
Oh
and
man,
for a side, give me like a real good loaded baked potato.
dude, you took the words out of my mouth. Oh, and have you ever had a steak before?
I,
Oh God. Well, whenever you give your first taste of bourbon, you'll know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
January.
when you get out of your Pampers,
January.
you'll understand.
Yeah.
Y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but you know what I'd really like to have with this?
Tell me.
A wedge salad
Yeah, you are crazy.
with blue cheese dressing,
No.
bacon.
Yeah, I mean, I love a wedge salad, but I'm not picturing that with
Oh, man.
Maker's Mark.
This would be perfect.
You're normally spot on. I think you just absolutely airballed.
No,
No, you,
not at
that
all.
was
Not
that
at
was
all.
tough. That was tough.
Dude, dude. Okay, back up a little bit. He paints us a picture of a 16-ounce medium rare ribeye with a beautiful loaded baked potato. We're talking butter, sour cream, cheese, chives, bacon, the works.
And
Chris-
Chris wants a side eye.
Chris goes, "Hey."
No, that's not a side item.
Chris said, "Hey, bring me that wedge over there." Get lost. That is awful. Like
It's not my fault that you're not sophisticated enough to
love
have a wedge before your steak.
No, that's not what I
Whoa.
said. I love a
Before your
wedge.
steak.
Yeah, well, of course. I'm not having that as my entree.
I love a wedge salad. Love it.
So you couldn't see, like, all right, I'm at the Oxford Grill House. I'm having a Maker's. Oh, you know what else would be good? The thick cut bacon. Have you ever had that?
Now that I could
Pork
get behind.
belly?
No,
I'm going
no.
ranch water with my wedge salad, and then I'm getting a bourbon when my steak
No.
gets here.
No, because I'm drinking I'm drinking wine when the steak shows up.
Well,
There's nothing better than a glass of Cabernet with steak.
okay.
It's
What size skirt do you wear?
My problem is like I don't like I don't
I was
like
waiting.
I don't like the spicy bourbon with like steak with pepper. Like I just doesn't it doesn't it just
Does your
doesn't-
pinky cramp when you hold it in the air while you're
Hey.
drinking your wine?
this is just my personal preference. It doesn't have
Unbelievable.
Hey, man, I remember
it
my first beer.
He said, "I don't like the pepper in the bourbon." You
Yeah,
don't put
like-
pepper on your wedge salad?
Yeah, but it's not spicy though. It's not like a.
It's not as spicy as mayonnaise.
It's not
is,
like
huh?
a hot. It's not like a hot steak with bourbon. I don't know. It's just something about that just doesn't.
Wait, so
doesn't
you don't
work
like
for
steak
me.
and bourbon at all? Is what you're saying?
Yeah, I probably would not drink.
Wow.
Now I would.
Wow.
Now I would have bourbon prior to
Wow.
my entree coming out, and then I may finish the entree, and I may have a bourbon with my bread pudding afterwards. Now I could see this going with bread pudding as like a post meal.
Yeah, I could agree with
like
that
I
too.
could see that being
You're
solid.
You're crawling back to reality.
I could see like the Maker's barrel proof
Yeah.
with some bread pudding being insane.
Yeah, it could be
But
good.
with my
Oh,
steak,
dude,
I'm going red
I'm
wine.
telling you, you're gonna have your life change this year when you come to the lodge and Nick and DJ make their homemade bread pudding for dessert.
Goodness. Oh goodness.
You about to have your world rocked.
I'm ready. I'm here for that.
Now I gotta ask. I've been getting asked the questions. Now I gotta ask a question to y'all. I mean, I'll include myself, but we're talking about what we pair with whiskey. What's the go-to in the morning blind breakfast snack? What's your go-to in the morning pulling out of that blind bag?
All right, well,
what
hang
are
on.
you, what are you surviving off of?
All right, let me add a layer to your question, or I guess I should add. Let me ask you to clarify something. Are we talking about just got through setting up decoys, waiting for the sun to come up? Let me pull it out of my blind bag. Or are we talking about it's 10 o'clock, we're grinding, I got to get something, I got to have something to get me through the morning?
Oh no, we're decoys are set, blind is set. You're opening your bag. What's getting you
Okay.
going in the morning? Just
You
bringing you
gotta
back to life. You're sleep.
You got to be
You're
thinking
sleep
blind bag,
deprived.
not the commissary.
Well, that's what I was going to
No,
Yeah,
no.
blind
Not
bag.
the commissary. This is public land blind bag.
Yeah, but even in my blind bag, I'll bring Pop-Tarts for mid-morning.
okay. Well,
But that's
Oh,
not.
that's-
But,
yeah, I mean,
no,
that's-
but that's not what I'm having
all right, well,
first thing.
What is it?
Well, hang on, golly, you go first
Why I gotta go first?
because you're rushing me.
No, mine would be Pop Tarts, 100%.
What?
Yeah, that's normally what I bring for in the blind bag, and I don't bring a lot of snacks, but normally I'll have Pop Tart. It's either gonna be the strawberry iced, which is really the only Pop Tart that matters,
Good.
or
Are you about to
That's
just?
the
Are you really going to
OG
say that when
Pop-Tart,
brown sugar
son.
cinnamon is sitting there?
What
Do
do you
what?
say? What do you say?
I said you're really going to say that's the only one when there's brown sugar cinnamon sitting right there.
now
I'm
I
not
would,
reaching for either of those.
I would say brown sugar cinnamon is gonna be my number 2. That's it.
Really?
That's
Or what
it.
about blueberry?
I'm not reaching for any of those three.
Dude,
y'all
that's
haven't
the-
y'all haven't
I'm
named
talking
one
about
that I'm bringing.
OG. I'm talking about OG.
Dude, I'm
It's-
bringing- all right.
Strawberry ice is the original Pop Tart.
First of all, I'm toasting my Pop-Tart on the buddy heater as well. If we're running buddy heaters, Pop-Tarts are getting toasted.
See,
That's
that's a
that's-
G move,
that's bougie.
That's number
gay.
one. That's
fellow
gay.
fat kid.
Hey, what's
there.
your house cab with your? Yeah, and my toasted Pop-Tarts.
Well, when
is
you
gay.
when you grow up, then you'll learn to enjoy wine with your
Yeah.
steak.
I
But
didn't
until-
realize that age was correlated to Pop-Tart enjoyment. But
I didn't either.
here's the thing. Number one, I'm always going to have a cup of coffee. First thing.
Oh,
like
yeah,
decoys
that's
are set.
for sure.
I'm having
sure.
a cup of coffee. Typically, with that cup of coffee, I've just got. My wife buys this brand of like oatmeal protein bars, and they're just the best. And I have
Are
one
they
every morning.
sweet?
Well, I mean, like different flavors, but
Yeah.
like the one we get, it's like oatmeal chocolate chip.
Okay.
Great with a cup of coffee, like 15 grams of protein. Like that's what
Oh,
I'm
them
pulling out
Quakers
first thing.
bars. The Quakers bars.
Well, this one's not Quaker brand. She buys the one that's like super clean ingredients, like all that kind of. But same concept.
Ah.
But I'm having something like that with my cup of coffee first thing.
Yeah.
I'm pulling Pop-Tarts out late morning.
I'm 100% going coffee.
Yeah,
Like,
have to.
it's in the blind bag every single day.
Without fail.
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
That's a
Owen,
a
what,
non-negotiable.
I'm
Owen, what
thinking.
you got, dog? Come on, man.
Man,
Yeah, I didn't even know Owen here.
beef jerky for sure. That's in the bag. I mean, I gotta lean on the Pop Tart.
Yeah.
Pop Tart or
You
honey
going
bun.
Pop-Tart first thing? Honey bun's another good one.
Mid morning.
Yeah.
Mid morning.
Throw a
Get some
honey
more
bun on the
carbs.
Are
buddy
you
heater.
doing the plain honey bun or the iced one?
I'm going
Man.
plain, and I'm toasting it on the buddy heater.
Plain. Gotta say plain.
Yeah.
Plain.
Yeah. You heat it up enough where it burns your mouth slightly. Yeah.
Just a
I'll tell you
little,
another one
just a
that gets
little.
overlooked is just a pack of nabs, man.
Oh,
Peanut butter
yeah.
crackers
Yeah,
in the
that's
blind
solid,
bag will
too.
get you through.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's a good
See,
one.
I'm a big
Oh.
and
What about Uncrustables?
Ooh, I've never done that. but
That's the bomb.
could be the play.
Have you ever had a frozen Uncrustable?
Yeah.
You eat them frozen?
It's like a popsicle.
You don't toast that on the buddy
I
heater?
was
No.
gonna say, dude, I'm toasting it.
Toasted or frozen. Either way,
They're good.
they're the bomb.
Dude, the peanut butter honey ones is where you want to be.
Really?
Yeah, that's where.
See,
you
I
I've-
didn't know they had
I'm
that.
that's where you.
I'm the
wanna be.
nerd with the peanut allergy, so I just miss all the fun peanut butter snacks.
Yeah. Hey,
So-
bud, just sit
so
this
what-
one out for a sec. Let the adults talk.
So what's your what are you pulling out of the blind bag?
Oh, it's bad.
It's so bad. It's not that bad.
You told him to leave. He just left.
He clocked out.
It's
He's probably still talking.
The
to himself.
morning-
Yep. See.
Yep. We missed
Oh,
the whole
oh,
thing.
there we
You're
go.
You're
We're
gonna
back.
have to start over. Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so
Last thing we
pulling
heard is
first and
it's bad.
foremost. Yeah, it's bad. It's not good. Kids, don't follow in my footsteps. We're pulling a honey bun out first and foremost. Honey
Yeah.
bun's coming out on the buddy heater. That's what's happening.
Step one.
Then it depends on delivery. There's either a lip going in or a cowboy killer to the face.
We're talking
and cracking the
Reds.
first Red Bull of the day.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah, I'm
good,
ready.
kids.
I will
it's
say-
not good, kids.
I will say, Jacob is the most cigarette selfied person I've ever been around. First
Owen
picture,
loves taking photos of me with a cigarette in my mouth.
first picture I ever took of Caldwell.
So
Smoke a cigarette.
you're going.
I will say, for
You're-
whatever reason, it does make for a cool picture.
So
It
you're
does.
going
and I
honey
don't
bun,
condone it.
smoke, Red Bull, instantly.
Yep.
Sugar free,
Yeah,
or are
yeah.
you going like full lead?
No.
Hey, bud, remember when we talked about taking care of ourselves as we get older?
First picture I ever took.
Dude, there was genuinely a moment last year where I had to oh God, I don't know how you say it. Like I really had to look at myself.
Do some soul searching.
You're really
Yeah.
starting to consider your life choices.
Did the thing where you're holding
Yeah.
you're holding the bathroom sink with both hands, looking in the mirror.
Pretty much, dude. I had the morning off from hunting. I'd hunted like 14, 15 days straight. And Mac was like, dude, just go do a light scout in the morning. I was like, God bless you. And I get in my truck. My truck is ground zero during duck season. Owen can attest to that. My truck is just a heinous, it's just so bad. And so I pull in the gas station. I clean my passenger side floorboard out. That's 3 feet high of fast food cups, Red Bull cans, God knows what else. And I clean the whole thing out. I go scouting that morning. I scout that afternoon and evening. And I look in the floorboard at about 4 o'clock in the evening. And I look over, and there is 6 empty Red Bull cans with a 7th one open in the cup holder. And I'm like, okay, that's enough.
The heart is
gotta
running
figure
on
something else
straight
out.
gasoline at that point in time.
Oh, dude,
You are floating.
running on fumes.
Golly, man.
Oh man!
Yeah, you might need to soul search.
All right, buddy.
No,
well-
dude, during duck season, I keep the lights on at Red Bull.
No doubt. No doubt. Well, Jacob, thanks for coming on,
Yeah,
man. This has
man.
been awesome. Can't wait to get up there and hopefully share a tree with you.
They don't have trees.
Hey, brother.
It was a metaphor. It's a figure of speech.
I'll come share a tree with y'all. Y'all come share a cattle pond with me. It'll be a good time.
Can do.
Yeah, we can make that happen for sure.
Can do. Well, man, thanks again. Take
Appreciate
care.
y'all boys having me on,
Yeah,
man.
thank y'all for listening. Thanks again to our sponsor, Lost Hat Co.
Yeah.
The blanks you've always wanted.
The blanks you've always wanted. Owen, thanks for dropping in.
Oh yeah.
We appreciate you being here. Jacob, my man, thank you for jumping on the show, buddy. We really do appreciate you. Thank you for the Maker's Mark. We'll have to do this thing again.
Absolutely. We'll check in with you after
Hey.
duck season, see what kind of year y'all had.
Come on with it.
All right,
Appreciate y'all,
buddy.
boys.
Thank you, man.
See you,
Chris,
buddy.
Roll us out.
Yeah.
See ya.
See you.